As soon as I do send the link out to Kev, and actually just to Kev, you're going to send it? Okay. And then I will briefly go over what we'll talk about, but it's going to be like super, super. As soon as I do send the link out to. Hold on, girl. Shut up now. Uh, but it'll be super low key, super conversational. I'm thinking like some of these are like my favorite because they're simply talking about like your love story. How did you guys meet? What do you guys do? Who's the kite? Who's the string is always a conversation. That's always a lot of fun. We just did that again with Tabitha and Chance, and actually with Angel and Marcus. Those are always my favorite conversations, to be honest. Discussing those, how you decided to take the leap. But you guys are full time entrepreneurs, but also full time ministry as well, right?
We were at one point, but we're no longer.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're no longer which one? Ministry
you're
or
no longer full time ministry?
No longer
No
full-time
longer full-time ministry.
Oh, y'all done quit God and focus on yourself. Wow.
So in real life, though, is that a sensitive topic? Is that a conversation you're willing to have, or should we stay away from?
Probably table it.
Table it? Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
we don't want certain people getting involved.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
that's no problem.
It
So
would get you guys a ton of views, so I'm glad
would.
you asked. 'cause-
listen,
Listen, I would rather stay away for that reason more than
I
more.
was just about to say, one thing I don't chase is cheap virality, okay?
Right. Amen.
Amen. to that.
AEL, right, Michael?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So then we'll just talk about like
AMA, right, Amanda?
Mhm.
I didn't want her to feel left out.
so then we'll just basically talk about your love story. We can definitely still talk about the kite and string, but just as it relates to just like entrepreneurship in general. And then we can also talk about balance is always a great conversation. How do you balance entrepreneurship and being a parent and being a husband and wife, maintaining the integrity of your relationship? Those are always really great conversation. You know, just those type of like low key fun, wherever the conversation takes us conversations.
Love it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people too, especially like going into the new year, or even like as COVID has started, people have just realized, hey, my job isn't as guaranteed as I thought it would be, or maybe this is the time to like jump into a side hustle or whatever. I don't know exactly how you guys stream it to your Patreon, but I know that when we did the conference with you guys, enjoy Q&A. So if anybody ever has like any questions about that, like that's always fun and a cool value add to your audience as well from an entrepreneurship standpoint. So that's an app.
Okay, what I can do is send you, can you text him the link as well so they can see the.
Yeah.
Okay. Kev's gonna send you the YouTube link.
Oh, clutch.
Man, I thought somebody was coming through the door.
Sounds like that.
Let me tell you why this earring never heals, because the moment it tries to do right, I put a hat over top of it and it irritates the top of it.
Yep.
It's cute though.
Girl, underneath it is not. I feel like I actually need more light. I need a. It's because this hat brim is so big. Okay. I just
When I
feel.
was shooting with Gary Owen, you just reminded me of this. They build a C stand under the camera that shoots an underlight up.
Nice.
I'd never seen it before. So they have like a it kind of looks like one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no,
That's
John, use
creative.
the other one. Keep that up there. Keep that.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying you could do that with these.
That girl.
It's too hot. But it actually
It looks good.
It gives her a great balance.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yes.
No, it looks good.
It looks fantastic.
That actually is great, Liz. Listen, you be knowing your stuff.
I don't. I just be knowing what I want to look like.
you do.
Excuse me. How can you light me this way?
Yeah, because the light was getting, it was just created. You just got that Beyonce formation.
I would.
Bam, bam, bam. Okay.
Actually, my head is
I'm
too
gonna need
high.
a
It's more
skin
like
I thought we
this.
needed it. Are you okay?
Your skin looks phenomenal.
Thank you, girl. I just had a
Glowing.
facial.
We might not need it.
Yeah.
And
Huh?
honestly, I feel like
It feels like kind of
3 to 4 days after you have a facial is when your skin is like popping.
How long ago was it?
About 3 to 4 days ago.
Yeah, it's popping. It's paying off. It's just like
Yay. I was having
Student.
a.
Here, come look what you'll look like.
Okay.
She can't.
Right, because if I move, I'll move.
Oh, look at the live.
Look at the live. Okay.
The live,
Oh, the live looks good.
Yep, people are watching.
Oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. You like it? You like it? That's what. Come on, warmth.
Like it?
I love their like churchy. Oh,
Listen.
let's go.
I realized I did a little like 15-minute Q&A with this girl over the weekend, and I realized how churchy I like. Even doing this is very churchy, like moving your hand.
Oh.
Just to
I'm
emphasize the point.
yeah, it really is. It's just,
Like an accent.
listen, it's one of those things. They say, Kojic, you can't be born or you can't join in, you got to be
You
born
gotta be
in.
born in.
Listen,
This is the church of God in Christ.
although I ain't gonna lie to you, I joined Church of God in Christ. I wasn't born in. I
Oh,
joined,
really?
yes, when I was like a teenager.
I'll show you what.
And when I first heard that song, me and my sisters was like, what type of foolishness and nonsense
That's
is
funny.
this
But we-
song talking about?
But we gonna join though. We gonna
Listen, but we're here to join. But my pastor, he was so bad. He didn't even stay Kojic. He left, actually.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yes, he sure did. And I was the one he was like, what do you guys think? And I was like, excuse me, I have words.
What
You don't
did say?
remember when Pastor left?
felt like I wasn't there
And
yet.
I was like, because I grew up in the military, in a way I believe that heaven is that he welcomes all. So this, you have to be born in, joining, Kojic, PAW, apostolic, all this, that, and the third ain't nothing
Gang,
but
gang.
that's division.
Gang, gang.
It is. It
Is
is.
that ain't nothing but division. That's a way to get folks very tribal, and that
Yeah.
breeds a you versus me mentality. And
Yeah.
I don't believe that's what God is about. Okay,
And you said that then?
absolutely, 100%.
How did he respond? How did
He
that
was
go?
like,
He said,
these are the reasons why. I mean, everybody in the congregation wasn't for it.
he said, get
I was
back.
gonna say, I was like, they applauded that. I was
No,
like,
but my
Some
pastor,
people were super Kojic.
yeah, some of those people were super coded. But pastor was like, good for you. And this is part of the reason why I even think I'm stepping out of it. I just want to be non-denominational. I mean, he still had
That's-
Kojic tendencies, but at the end of the day,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you have a friend that invited you, or how did that come about?
so actually, when we grew up military, and we were in Hawaii, and before we left from Hawaii, we were being stationed in Washington State. The pastor and first lady from Washington were in Hawaii on vacation. Somehow our families connected and was like, oh, we're going to be moving to Washington State. And like, it was probably like a month later. And they were like, oh, really? Where? We're in Washington State. Oh, we're going to be in Fort Lewis. Really? I'm on Fort Lewis. We connected. We were friends. When we moved over to Washington State, they were our pastor and first lady the whole time we were there.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So it's not a Southern thing?
Kojic? No,
Yeah, I
Kojic
thought it
is,
was Southern. I
Kojic
thought it
is global.
Is it?
Kojic
Yeah,
is
man.
Like
global.
it's outside of America too?
Yeah, like
Oh.
it's global.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if like, because I grew up in the South Kojic. I was Kojic from the time I was born to the time I left for college. And so I played the Hammond B3. Like we were like churchy, like in church on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Yep.
like 8 days a week. And so I just grew up super Kojic, and I just know that, especially in like the South, maybe even Midwest, when we would go to AIM,
Yep.
sometimes we call it AIMS, because when you're Kojic, you just add S to what.
Yeah, everything. Wait, stop talking. We finna have this conversation on camera. we finna have a little bit of this because Amanda, did you grow up really churchy?
Okay, so I grew up in a white church.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay,
so
wait,
my
let's talk about it. Stop talking,
Okay.
stop talking. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Whistle around to make you feel the way I do.
What song is
Wow.
this?
Fleetwood
Go
Mac.
off. And
I don't know this song. Okay, ready?
Ready?
ready.
Somebody just cashed out me $1.25 because I said it in that video. I said, man, with fees, that's only 90 cents. People are funny.
All right, here we go.
Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who do you appreciate?
That was a pretty good. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Love Hour podcast. I'm your host, Miss Kev on stage, and I'm joined, as always, by my husband and co-host.
The Kev on stage.
And we haven't had a guest in a while.
very much
That's
longer.
actually not true at all. We just had a guest. Yeah, we're absolutely wrong, but that's okay. We didn't film it, so it feels longer.
Feels like a
than-
long time.
than it actually was. Disregard.
Disregard, Kev.
Today, we do have a couple with us that were featured on the very first, quite possibly only, Love Hour conference. And that is none other than Michael and Amanda Pittman.
Michael and Amanda. That's M-I-C-H-A-E-L.
M-I-C-K-E-Y.
That's
Yes.
For y'all
And
who
it's
get confused.
Pittman with a P. Pittman with a P.
Pittman with a P. 2 T's. 1 man.
2 T's. And you guys were actually a guest favorite. I feel like the people that watched the Love Hour conference, I received, like, obviously you received commentary on everybody, but you guys were definitely one of the ones that they were like, I actually just got an email from somebody like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago and was like, hi, Michael doesn't have the finance class that he offered, which, do you have it anymore?
I do. And if I haven't made it like, I made it like very public for your audience.
Oh.
So I told people that they had 72 hours, and then I guess they thought I was playing.
Oh, let me tell you what. People don't believe you.
but if they want, because people have been like blowing me up about it, I'll probably just let me know when this opens, and then I'll open it up again for a little bit.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, they definitely, and I want to say this was in like the last week or two. And I went on your page and I couldn't find it. And I was like, girl, I recommend emailing him directly.
It's gone, girl.
Listen, I didn't want to play no go-between. And I respect when people have boundaries. If you say 72 hours and listen, it's October. That was in July. Your 72 hours been gone a couple times over, okay?
That was like 72 days ago.
Right.
Right.
So I'm just, I was like, you might want to contact him directly. Here's his profile. So I don't know if she did, or he, I don't even remember which one it was. But anyways, that definitely happened not that long ago. So we have been kind of playing phone tag in a way that's not phone tag at all. It's more like email and DM tag with Michael and Amanda about being guests on the podcast. And so I'm so excited that we were able to get this done. So we're just going to I feel like the audience always really enjoys conversations that we have with couples that's just like couple conversation. That's probably what I should call it. Anyway,
Couples conversation.
couple conversation.
Kevin, Liz, and the Pittmans. And
Yeah.
other people too.
I feel like those are some of people's like favorite episodes. The episode that we did with Tab and Chance, even the episode we did with Farron and Tahir is actually a really high episode in terms of viewership. And we just talk about your love story. Of course, we're going to talk about the string and kite dynamic because that's always really interesting. We're going to talk about entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about motherhood. We're going to talk about fatherhood. We're going to talk about marrieddom. We're going to talk about all the things.
Yes.
All teens.
Okay, so you ready? All right. So
We're ready.
Amanda and Michael, to start off, can you guys just briefly tell us who you guys are, how you guys met, how long you guys been married, how many children you got, all the little like get to know you questions.
Okay, so I'll start with where we're at now, and then you can backtrack and tell the story of how we met because you're a good storyteller.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh,
So right now we have children, and we own a business, and it's a marketing company. And my husband also does finance and teaches finance.
Right.
And I own a brand called Confident Woman Co., where we equip you to stand confidently upon the finished work of Jesus. And that's what we're focused on in this season. Just being a great family and focusing on our businesses. So that's what we're doing now.
Yeah, so we actually met. We've been married now going on 7 years.
oh wow.
So we look like we are in high school. But, we
Y'all got some young faces.
When you said 7, I definitely did the math and I was like, so they're either older than I thought
They're 11 years
or
old.
they got
We got
married
married
at
young.
12.
it wasn't
We were
12, but
It
but
was in college.
it was in college.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us
Hey,
how
we
old you
got
guys
married
were,
in
right?
college.
Because we were too.
Oh, yay.
So we got married. I was 21 and Amanda was
I
20.
was 20. I couldn't even.
Oh, same.
We
Then.
same guys.
Same.
Samesies.
Yeah, totally the same.
That's awesome. So we met in college our sophomore year, and I mean, it was in a random art of acting theater class. So
8
my
a.m.
8 a.m. So my bachelor's degree is in engineering.
Okay.
Amanda's degree is in music education.
Yeah.
So there was no way for us to really pass.
I saw him around though, but we never really crossed paths.
So let's just say God had a different plan. He will
Yes.
make a way.
Yes.
And
Yes, he did.
in that 8 a.m. theater class, I remember going around, my name is Michael, so-and-so is so-and-so, so. Then I heard, my name's Amanda. And I said, where is that beautiful voice coming from?
Oh.
And I looked over and I said, thank the Lord. I praise God for his mercy and everlasting. So so we were friends for that semester, my sophomore year of college. I was pledging a fraternity at that time, so I could not like even be seen out with women or like enjoying anything of pleasure at all. But after I pledged and crossed, we
What did you pledge? Because you didn't say the fraternity.
Alpha Phi.
Oh, okay.
And then
That's important. We need to know these details.
Oh, absolutely.
You'll know that I'm all about the details in the story. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I love it. I love it. So I pledged the fraternity, and I crossed in about October. Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
he started hugging me after that.
What's today's date? October 20th?
Was that?
Yep.
20th.
I crossed, wow, this day,
Oh wow.
28 years ago.
Wow.
So wow. So then after that, I was like, okay, cool. Now I'm out here. And I saw Amanda.
And then I would get hugs.
She would get hugs.
Because he didn't touch me before that, you know. I mean, I guess he had rules and stuff.
Yeah, but
I don't know, but like they would be the best hugs.
Oh,
you
they
know?
were they were great hugs. And so and we were just friends at that time, but it was just like, let me just show you how a real man hugs, you know. and it was crazy because like in December of that semester, I basically saw Amanda in the cafeteria, and I was like, hey, we never crossed paths like beforehand, but we gonna make sure we cross paths.
He was so serious about it. He came up to me and I didn't know where with this, but he was like, we have to stay friends.
Straight
like
up.
it's not an option.
Wait, this is like, so this is after the theater class ended?
Yes.
So this was theater class was from August until December, and so it was after.
Okay.
Pledged in October, right in between. So
yeah.
Okay.
And so he was really, really serious about it. That's when I thought, like, well, maybe there's something there, you know. So he was like, well, before this, we didn't talk. We have to stay friends. I was like, oh, okay. He's like, no, I'm serious. We have to stay friends. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, there it is.
So she left, and I didn't give her my number, and then I was like, man, like I'm going home for winter break tomorrow. But if I see her again on campus, it wasn't a small campus, it was a pretty big campus.
Yeah.
Where did you go to college?
SMU, Southern Methodist University.
In Dallas.
Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah. So absolutely.
SMU Mustangs.
5-0, 5-0, and now top 25 team in the country. Just so we had so I happened to see her
across the field.
It wasn't like we crossed paths. It was like
he was all the way down there. I don't even know how he saw me.
That looks like a short, light-skinned woman. I'll take my chances. Like,
there weren't a lot of Black people on campus. So
there weren't.
that helps.
So and then she was hanging out with some other dude, and I was
he didn't care. I was literally with some other dude that was somewhat interested in me.
Yeah.
But he literally asked for my number in front of him. He ran across.
Wow.
All the way. He literally ran. He sprinted, and he was like, "Amanda, I need to get your number." And he asked for it right in front of the other guy.
Did you give your number to him in front of the other man?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. This other man, is he okay? Has anybody checked on him?
I think he's okay.
Nobody has checked on him. I mean, okay.
Be nice.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Dang.
Yes. And so then we dated. So that was in December.
Okay.
Then we started talking and started dating in January.
Okay.
was engaged the following December, and then got married the following June.
So we were together a year and a half before
That
we got
I
married.
knew it when you said you guys got married at 20 and 21, and when you started this story, I was like, they didn't date that long, or they didn't engage that long.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we was trying to live holy for the
We
Lord.
were.
Hey, better
But-
to marry than to burn.
And yes, absolutely. I felt like I was on fire for 18 months. So
Yeah.
I
In those
So
jeans.
yeah, we got married. We made it.
Was your
Okay.
family?
I got you.
Oh, because our family, well, my family wasn't so keen on us getting married in college. They wanted me to wait. Your family wasn't really tripping though.
No, mine wasn't tripping.
Was you guys' family okay with it, or were they like, nah, y'all should wait?
I think that with Michael's family, like his parents also got married young
in
and-
college.
And they also trusted Michael a lot. Like he didn't bring a lot of women around. So he was like, he's really serious about this one. With my parents, my loved Michael. They hated all the other guys I brought around, but they loved Michael. But they were just like, just finish college first. Just finish college first. And I was like, well, I really want to marry him now. You know?
But
But
we
no,
but
though, now.
I set it up strategically because I'm a very analytical person. And so I'm thinking to myself, how can I set up all the things to where it's a slam dunk? So
He did.
what I actually did was in college, I was an RA, I was a resident assistant. And I worked it out to where in the year we would get married, I could switch being a resident assistant in an all freshman dorm to resident assistant in like a grad school dormitory that was apartment style. So the sales pitch is, hey, dad, Amanda's dad, what would be great about us getting married is that Amanda graduates a year before me. So she'll be making a full-time salary while living with me. And we're in this grad school dorm, so we don't
Living
have
for free.
living for free. We have no rent, no water bill, no electric bill, no internet bill, no nothing. We eat at the cafeteria, food hall, absolutely free. So it's gonna be just an amazing year to set us up for the future because we'll be living for free, and Amanda's gonna be making full-time money. And he was just like, okay.
Yeah.
Listen, that's a solid presentation.
That is a solid.
Listen, I know
Yeah.
some of your concerns: money, housing, rent. Don't worry about that. She has money. I have housing, rent, and food. We're
Yeah,
taking care of it.
absolutely.
It was a good setup. And then on the exact same day that Michael asked my dad for my hand in marriage, he came back and proposed to me the exact same day.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't want anybody to change their mind, so I just so we had lunch, and then it's on YouTube, like on our YouTube channel, like Michael and Amanda Pittman, the proposal, and we did YouTube videos, relationship YouTube videos, and we were doing a YouTube video like how we always do.
I
But
don't even remember what the topic was on. Like it was just like a topic. It was a cover up because I didn't know it was coming.
Sure.
and then I proposed to her live right on the YouTube video. She was,
Yeah.
So it was great, and I think our parents were like, "Whoa, that was quick." And
Yeah,
I
my
said,
parents didn't know, so that
That
was
was going to be that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents had to like take a couple weeks to that because they didn't know he was going to propose that day.
I got the yes. So I mean, I was just like, "What else do we
But
need?"
I mean, they love him, and
It's-
you know.
we have
yeah.
an excellent relationship with one another's, like in love. So
We do.
it's good.
That's awesome. I think that there is, before I go into that, actually, I think that we should take a break to hear from the Love Hour podcast sponsors. Don't forget that supporting our sponsors is supporting the Love Hour podcast. And we always appreciate you guys clicking the link, buying the things, using our code, because it just shows support not only to us, but to our sponsors as well. So let's hear from them. And then we could just do it after, because after this, you guys are done for the day. Oh, you didn't do Dear Kev? But
not
still,
gonna
it's
do
really
it.
early. Yeah, this is a better setup.
It's way better setup. I'm
Yeah,
glad I
you'll
thought of
get
it.
your...
Good call, Kev.
Okay, and we are back.
Back.
So I have two things to say. Thing number one, Michael, it seems that you knew. And what's funny is that I feel like Kevin knew as well.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there is something to be said about a man that knows. Were you so confident and sure, Amanda, as well?
Yeah, I mean, he was the only guy who treated me the way he did. He was really respectful and he loved the Lord, and I was attracted to him, you know, and we had just really good vibes, like really good energy. We meshed, and so I was like, I don't know if I could land this one again. So it was just pretty much I knew. And also he before we even started dating, he said the next date is going to be my wife. So the moment we started dating, I was like, guess I'm his wife. So I think that that gave me a lot of confidence in it. Yeah, he was really, really intentional.
You can
Totally.
tell
Yeah,
that
I
you're
just
very intentional, even in like this conversation, and to the idea that you guys meshing really well together. Even the way you guys story tell is very
Yeah.
in unison. Go,
Interwoven.
yeah, go ahead and finish your thought, Michael.
Oh, what I was just saying is that, yeah, I think that for me, I was privileged. I tell people all the time as a black man, I was born really on second base, stealing third, not because we grew up with a lot of money or anything like that, because we didn't, but simply because I had a black mom, black dad who got married young, loved the Lord, loved each other. They've been married for 26 years, 27 years. I can't remember how many years now. And it's just, for me, marriage and commitment was not scary because I had already seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not something that I could impose on anyone else, because you can choose a lot of things in life, but you choose who your parents are. So
Sure.
that's only by God's grace.
Sure.
So for me, I thought to myself, I've always heard kind of two different theories. There is the get young early and grow up
Get
together,
married
or get married, sorry,
young.
get
Yeah.
married young
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
and grow up together, or, establish yourselves, and maybe some of the hurdles
Sure.
financially or just in the immaturity of life you face in your younger 20s, you get married older and that stuff is kind of out of the way, but you're a little bit more independent at that time and it takes a little bit
Sure.
more work to
Sure.
come together. So I was totally familiar with both sides of the coin. I think that I just thought to myself, okay, well, if we get married young and start a family young, then by the time we get to our 40s, it's my parents got married when they were about our age, and they've been empty nesters since they were like 43. And it's,
So
I mean,
me and Melissa
it's
are closing in on that right about then. I don't know if the boys, I don't think
They
my
ain't
boys
leaving
gonna
the
leave the
house.
house, but
They ain't leaving the
our
house.
main job is done. I know that. And we should be about 43,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because Isaiah's in fourth grade or ninth grade, so he got 4 years left, 3 years after this.
that's
And then
crazy.
Yeah.
Joe gonna have 5, and we're 37. We about 42,
Yeah.
43.
Yeah. That's about right.
And
Yeah.
and I feel like, and just think about how much more life you guys
Listen,
live.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
forget them kids. Y'all don't have to go on vacation with us no more. We finna go to all the places that we took y'all, and y'all
Yeah.
made it suck. We're finna go and do it again. Y'all gone Spain. We get in here. Can we go back to the hotel? There's no way they. I don't like the Spanish food. And can you? We need a do over.
Yeah. So
Right.
And
so
plus,
I
all
have
them
a-
doggone years we couldn't do
I-
nothing when they were young.
The thing I was about to say, when you're young though, you're also broke. Okay, so we wasn't doing nothing anyways, but raising them kids.
But we couldn't even go to the doggone movies with them.
No, because we needed to be at the house buying a blockbuster movie.
buying a blockbuster.
I do have a question for you guys. So you said that you guys had a YouTube channel,
Uh-huh.
even when you guys were dating. I always think back, and I'll let you guys give your perspective on this. I think back to when Kevin and I were teaching marriage enrichment at our church when we were very newly married. And I think to myself, as much as I thought I knew,
Man.
Chad, you really knew nothing.
My
Okay.
Lord.
I feel like only time really teaches you, and that's not to say there's not really great wisdom that you can offer at very newly married or at a young age. That you absolutely can. But I believe that wisdom is very secondhand, meaning it's either been what you've read or what you've been taught and not what you've experienced. And so what I
Sure.
teach from today is from experience. Those
Yeah.
what those revelations are conversations I've had with myself.
Yeah.
So it just it's a little bit different. And so my question, do you guys still do like marriage ministry stuff? And then have you ever gone back and looked at those videos and been like, girl, if you knew then what I know now, you probably would have shut up.
So I would say we don't do as many relationship videos anymore because I feel like our life kind of works in various phases.
Yeah.
Where it's in this season focused on relationships. Fourth season we were focused on ministry. Now we're focused on entrepreneurship and family, and so we have integrated those things within our YouTube channel. But that audience was really built then for the content we were producing at that time. I really appreciate what you said when it comes to like what you say now may be based off of what you've read or what you've heard. And then there's a different type of teaching anointing that comes with talking through what you've experienced.
Absolutely.
It's interesting though, because I think that for us, at sometimes we probably came off a little bit more authoritative than we should have been. But in many times it was like, hey, just trying to figure this out.
Yeah, we're taking you along the ride with us, you know, kind of just sharing our journey, what we're learning and working for us. And yeah, I think during the time, the motivation behind it was we didn't see anybody trying to date anywhere, like especially the campus we were on. It was very much so like party culture, hookup culture, like
at Southern Methodist University.
Oh yeah,
the Methodists just own the land, baby.
Wait, and you guys said this was in Dallas, Texas?
Yeah.
Southern that sounds like Mississippi.
The SMU. Y'all wasn't doing none of that Methodist, huh?
Yeah. And so we didn't see anybody doing it that way. And it just was part of the culture. It was so countercultural that he and I were even on campus that we made it into the school newspaper because people thought we were like unicorns. Like, oh my gosh, they're getting married on campus.
You made it into the newspaper? For what?
For being married. They're like married couple students in theater. Remember when I was doing Macbeth? They did a little profile on it. You don't remember this?
I do not.
Okay, guys, we made it into the UW school newspaper because it was like, y'all married in college?
Right.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's
why?
To people.
Yeah. It's crazy. So I think that it's helpful. This is something that's like applicable to even like business and entrepreneurship. In fact,
and you segue us there because I know you guys are also doing entrepreneurship. So I definitely want to talk about how entrepreneurship as a whole affects and impacts your relationship. But continue your thought.
Okay, cool. So like, for instance, let's say somebody wants to start a business. They have an area of passion. Maybe they don't have an audience though, or maybe, they're interested in a particular topic like money or finance, but they're an financial advisor, or they've never sat down and coached anyone. It's like, how can I take this passion and couple it with my pursuit of entrepreneurship? And there are really three approaches. There is one that they wouldn't take, which is the expert approach. So if somebody was interested in personal finance, Dave Ramsey is an expert. He's built this.
I've seen your post on this. Continue.
Yes. So, Dave Ramsey is a big expert in personal finance. And so he can speak from the standpoint of an expert. That's the guru approach. Then there is the guide approach, to where you basically associate yourself with a lot of people who are in that space. And you basically take the nuggets of information that they learn, and then you can compile it into something that you can market and sell to others. So the most famous guide there is Oprah. What was she a guru in? Nothing really, but she interviewed a lot of successful people. It just kind of happens that by osmosis, she becomes a guru in multiple spaces, and she has influence. It's because she took the guide approach and she said, hey, I'm your guide. I'm going to walk you, and have you meet all of these different people and have them give their perspectives. I believe there's like a book, Chicken Soup for the Soul, and others that are literally just interviews with successful people, and then you put them together, and then boom, you don't even have to be a guru. You just sell it as a guide. And then there is also the anti-guru approach. Okay. So This was something that I didn't post on Instagram. There's some, something for your Patreon
extra
audience.
Hey,
Patreon
little
exclusive.
exclusive.
Little something special. So, the anti-guru approach is basically, let's say that I remember whenever I was in college, I worked for like a multi-level marketing company,
Okay.
and I was paid $10.99, and I didn't know anything about taxes, and
Yep.
so I didn't pay no taxes because I was just like, I'm in college, like that. This doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does for all of those listening.
And then 2 years later, I got a letter from Uncle Sam that made me cry. So I could take that, and I could be a history teacher, a psychologist, but I could say, hey, listen, if you are interested in entrepreneurship, I worked with a CPA. I owed a ton of money to the IRS, but I worked with a CPA. They taught me some tricks and tips on how to get that bill down, and they taught me what to do for the next time. And I put it all in the book for you, so that way you don't make the same mistakes I made.
Sure.
That's the anti-guru approach. You can sell that. And so when me and
bring it back around.
Yep. And so when me and Amanda
Yes.
were talking about relationships and stuff that we learned in premarital counseling class or whatever from a book like Purpose Driven Life, it wasn't from the guru approach,
Sure.
or it was somewhat from the guide approach, but it was really like we really wish that we would have done this better. And so here's what we've learned from other people, and we hope that this helps you too. And that's still just as impactful as if we were, self-proclaimed gurus on the internet. So I hope that kind of helps. And
It did. I actually thought that was, first of all, a phenomenal explanation. And you've put titles on things. It helped me because what?
No, I know what you're about to say, but go ahead.
I'm very often, and it's very easy to discount yourself. I'm talking to yourself would be me. You don't have the education and the 3 letters behind your name, or the formal certification or the training or whatever have you. And what you're essentially saying is that there's value in however you package the information that you have, there's value in that.
Yep.
Totally. Yeah. I would say that you can move into different phases over time.
Sure.
So while you may not be a guru today, if you take the anti-guru approach, well, then over time, you're learning all this information. And then you say, man, let me get some of this information I'm learning from these guides, and then kind of take the guide approach. And then let me implement some of this information for myself. Wow, this worked for me. That worked for me. Now I'm at the point of authority, not only because I've been talking to them about it for a long time, but because I've gotten the results. Now I can help other people get the results. And so I just recommend for people, like, don't let, because you don't have a PhD or an MBA or whatever, stop you from getting started. In reality, nobody knew whenever I was helping them with their personal finances that my degree was in engineering. They didn't care, because the results that I was able to generate for other people and how I was able to help other people ultimately became my credentials.
Yeah. And I'll also add this. I think that, well, at least for me, for a long period of my life, I discounted myself because of my age. I've always been the youngest, I was the younger sister. I was always a grade ahead in school. So I was younger than everybody else was getting their driver's license. I wasn't yet. And so I always had this mentality of, who wants to hear from me? I'm the youngest. And one thing that really shifted my perspective that Michael really instilled in my mind is that if you're good enough, you're old enough. And if you're good enough, you're old enough. If you can get people the results, or if you could take the anti-guru approach or whatever it is, it's still valuable. There's a scripture that says, don't let people look down on you because you're young, but set an example. And I think it's, I think it's incredibly important for young people, because we're young, right now we're both 27. He's about to turn 28. And we're just in this stage of life that we're
Y'all 27?
Wait, you didn't do that math yet?
You know I can't do math in my head.
I've been doing calculations this whole time.
As a baby. What y'all doing outside? Your mom don't know where y'all at? Tell your mom where y'all at right now and go to bed.
I promise you I did that math. Hold on before you finish. Catherine, edit this out, Greg. Catherine, can you mark this moment, this whole little section, and send it to me so I can make sure I can cut it for the gram? Okay, continue.
Yeah, and so we've always
Wait, y'all was born in the 90s?
92, baby.
93.
92? The LA riots were already happening. You was just un bebé.
That's so funny. That's hilarious. And so we get that reaction a lot. Like, you guys are babies, you're young. And I think that if we had let that stop us, then we wouldn't be where we are today, owning our own company, having our own employees. If we would have said we're too young.
Y'all got employees?
Yeah.
We do. Yeah. And
absolutely.
so it's just the mentality of, you know what? I'm not going to let anything stop me, because even if we were older, we could use the same excuse. We're too old.
You know what, though?
100%.
Sometimes people be old. They don't. This is bothering me. I just need to fix this for you.
What is it?
It's not bumped in right.
Oh.
You're missing a little piece of your swag that you can have.
Well, why would
Okay.
you? Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, you know why? It's
Yes.
because it helps my ear.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back.
Some people, when I was young, I used to think older always meant smarter and more mature. Some people are just literally older.
Right.
They have learned nothing.
So true.
They are making the same mistakes they made in their 20s and their 40s. And I was like, oh, actually, you're not better or smarter. You're just 45.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't learn anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Can I mention something?
Mention it.
I want to not to preach, but let me just like
It's okay. I got the
do
tambourine
a little
ready.
something.
Tambourine's ready.
touch a little. So there's a scripture in the Bible
Uh-huh.
where a young man comes to Jesus and says, "Jesus, I want to follow you," and Jesus says, "Yeah, come on." And the man says, "Well, first let me go bury my father." And Jesus says, "Anybody who ain't ready to rock and roll with me right now, they ain't fit for."
Oh, this
you
the
know,
message version.
Right.
This is the
That's my favorite version though.
Yeah.
The
If you
amplified.
ain't ready to rock with
Listen.
your boy right now, then don't even be talking to me, cuz don't add Big JC, cuz you want to rock with them dead people, be with the dead.
Listen.
Right. Get
And the
right
amplified
or
talk to
get
you just
left.
like that. And Jesus said, and then he was like,
First of all, Jesus was like, first of all, verily, 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 verily is basically first of all. First of all,
it is.
it's your boy
Verily,
Big
verily
JC,
is
cuz
first of all.
don't add me, Bob.
That's
Flip this
so
table
true,
on
though.
the dead homie, cuz on Moses, cuz I'll fire out
Wait,
everybody. But go ahead,
verily,
Michael.
verily is first of all.
Verily, verily, cuz I say unto you, it could be whatever.
Yeah. And people are looking like, you say unto me, then am I looking at anybody else? Right here in the blue. So one of the things that when people read that scripture at first, they're like, man, Jesus is so harsh. Like, he didn't have to do him like, I just wants to bury his father. But one of the things that people don't realize in that scripture is that the guy never says that his father is dead.
Uh-huh.
And so the guy's father could have been 60 years old, 55 years old. And the guy's father could have been alive for another 25, 30 more years. Okay, then I'll do it. And so then you realize, okay, well, if you wait until your father dies and buries him, well, then by that time, it's like, well, okay, well, then now let me get my kids through college, you know, and then I'll follow. Or let me add a little bit more to 1K. Or Jesus is like, no, like, tomorrow is not guaranteed to you.
Yeah.
And so what people need to realize is that there's always going to be an excuse. Let me bury my father. Let me wait until this. Let me wait until that. There is never going to be a perfect time to do anything. Going to be the perfect age. There's never going to be like a moment where you're like, I am at this point in time in my life. Now I go. In fact, I would even say that doing things in opportune times, you actually
Grow.
like you actually grow.
You become
and you
who
become
you're supposed to be. Yeah.
exactly. Like I remember for a minute, and I, when we got started, it was because I got fired from my job unexpectedly, and it was like, okay, well now
Didn't we celebrate?
we did celebrate because and then I cried. we celebrated.
Michael's lying. That's Ken.
yeah,
You don't
yeah.
cry. I've seen him cry once.
Yeah,
in
so
my life.
I'm not super emotional, but like the it was like, okay, if entrepreneurship doesn't work for us Now, like, we don't eat. So we need, well, we do eat because we on food stamps, but you know,
Y'all was on the state?
We were on the state, baby.
We were. We're
Listen,
like,
man,
we're
you
gonna
got to
at least-
keep some friends around that's on the state. That's how the barbecues be lit.
There you go.
You get all the choice cuts of meat. We had back in Washington, we had a good amount of friends on the state, and we had the best barbecue. All the choices cuts.
Yes. We were eating good. We were eating good.
I did not know what it to be on the state, and then I got the letter in the mail, and I was like, they're giving me $565 a month to buy whatever I want from the grocery store. I was, because of, you know, the whole tax thing. I was like, is this going to be taxed? Am I going to get another letter from But we learned. And I say that to say that whenever we started entrepreneurship, it wasn't in an ideal time, but it was the best time because it was like, we have to work. We have to grow. We can't get comfortable. I don't have a nest egg over here to where I don't have a plan B or a fallback plan or anything. Like, it has to work.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what's given us the ability to accelerate as fast as we have.
Listen, go ahead, Amanda.
Yeah, I was just saying that's what gave us the grind that it took. Even when we got to the point where we're saying, okay, we don't even want to depend on anything or anyone, and we were throwing away our food stamps card, that's when our income doubled the next month. It tripled the next month. Yeah.
Y'all threw away the card?
Hold on.
We said we're not going to have a safety net. We're not going to depend on anybody else. We've had just like a losing mentality. Like, we're playing to not lose, but we weren't playing to win.
And you know, they say you play to win the game.
Yes.
You play. Hello. You played. Hold on 1 second, guys. I want to get back to the store, but before that, let's take a quick break. Okay, we're back. Thank you guys so much for supporting our sponsors in the show, because if you don't, we're going to be on food stamps. So let me just understand clearly. Y'all, the government didn't say, hey, y'all off stamps. Y'all said, we don't need this.
Right.
So
we had a very honest conversation with.
So wait, Amanda, before you tell the story about the conversation, I'm gonna need you to answer these specific questions. Whose idea was it to come off the state? What was the response from the other person? And this is going to go into, one of y'all is a kite.
And did y'all go one more time through the grocery store and get lamb chops?
Are y'all both kites? Are y'all both strings? What is y'all dynamic?
So we are a really team. I'll say that we're a really great team. I think that it was a consensus. It was a consensus. I think we were on the same page. And so we had this really honest conversation with one another. And we're like, can we really make six figures next year? Do you really believe that is possible? And I said, I told Michael, I said, God is saying right now, I can do even more than that if you would just believe.
Absolutely.
We had that conversation. I had that conversation, just kind of spoke to that. And then we say, you know what? Forget it. We're going to go balls to the wall. We're going to go
balls to the wall.
We are. We're going to
I heard the songwriter say to the window, to the wall. Yeah, they both. To the sweat drops down my balls. Oh, these females call. Oh, skeet, skeet.
I didn't know it was all these females call. I thought it was just all skeet.
No, that's the next part.
Y'all are the best podcast.
Wait, Amanda let me tell you what I love about you guys in real life that I'm noticing, and I'm really, really enjoying this, that when you're talking, everything is a we conversation. Mm-hmm. When you're talking, I'm having a hard time, and I realize I'm always like analyzing people. Mm-hmm. Like, let me put you and figure out who you are and how you work. Let me put you and figure out how you work. And I'm having a hard time doing this. The reason why is because the way you guys tell a story, it's not from perspective. It's from a we standpoint.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think they're frozen.
I was like, they're really intent right now. Hey, y'all alive? Hey, guys, y'all.
Kick them out and then bring them back in.
Y'all dead, y'all alive.
There they go. Oh, they're joining. phone has been going off.
What she
Oh, it's
did.
Vicky.
Well,
Oh, they went out
Here's
again.
some- Your supplier has received the payment.
My head is big. Just looking at it on this screen, especially compared to Liz, this is a meaty head. Here's a story of a lovely lady who was bringing up three very lovely girls.
Is my screen dirty? Does it look fuzzy?
All of them, not really. They're of gold, like their mother, the youngest one in curl.
They said we were cutting them off, so we need to be. I thought we were doing good, but if they said we are, we need to. Okay.
Till the one day when the lady met this fellow. Hello.
Which
Hey,
honestly
we're
could've
back.
been- Okay.
Y'all moved? Oh no, he was just
Yeah,
not
no, he just made sure that everything's working downstairs. Made sure that Wi-Fi's going well.
Oh, y'all coming way more clear now.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, good.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
The last thing I heard you saying was that it's more of a we conversation.
Yeah. That's all I was trying to say is that as you guys are telling the story, you can sense the oneness, the team effort in your relationship that the story and the way that you both tell it, whether Amanda's talking or Michael's telling it, it's very much of like a consensus standpoint and not a, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people actually tell us that. I think a huge part of this is we got married young. And so we kind of grew up together. You know, like our entire adult lives were spent together. So when we're coming into ourselves, we're coming into one another. And so I feel like it creates this like synergy of oneness. And so yeah, I think that's a huge part.
Yeah.
How old were you guys when you had your children's?
I was 23 whenever we had our son, and then I was 25, I believe, when we had our daughter. Because she's.
Do y'all want to be us?
Y'all want to be us so bad.
Really? Is that the same age?
Literally 21, 20 when we got married, 23 when Zay was born, 25 when Joe was born.
There it is. And we done having kids.
We have two.
And we done having kids too.
That's it.
They're done having parents.
Did we just become best friends?
We did. Was y'all on the stamps before when y'all had kids? Was this when y'all were on stamps?
We were on stamps in between kids. So we had the first kid, and then we were pregnant with the second one, and then I lost my job. 2 weeks later, we found out we were pregnant, and then I was like, we're gonna get on the stamps because at least we're gonna eat. And then we had the second child, and then we had in October, because Lily turns 2 on Thursday, and then it was December to where I don't know if you guys have ever felt this, but have you ever felt like, not in a comparison type of way, but in a comparison type of way, you look at other people and you're like, I should be further along. Like, what type of ceiling am I hitting mentally or whatever? And we just realized that when we saw other people further along, they were willing to burn the ships. Like, they were willing to take away the safety net.
Yeah.
And if we lose, we lose.
Right.
If we go, like, I had to get to the point because I was a financial guy, right? So, like, the idea of being fiscally irresponsible or whatever, risky was a little like alarming, but I just had to get to the point to where I said, like, I want to win so bad, and I don't want to go back to Bank of America as an employee ever again. So
did you really work at Bank of America?
Are you kidding me, Michael?
Did you really work at Bank of America?
Yeah,
I got fired from.
What is
Kevin worked at Bank
I
of
worked
America.
at Bank of America.
Oh, wow.
Stop lying.
That's serious.
That's crazy.
I got fired from Key Bank, but I worked at Bank of America. Is your name really Michael?
I know. Is your name Michael? Are you sure?
Yeah, I feel like it was in those times where we became who we needed to be to sustain our future. You know, like that's when we said we have no other options. We have to go as hard as possible and we have to take the risk. Like you're not rewarded for playing it safe.
Come on.
And so and we still have that
Scared money
same
don't make
mentality
money.
today.
Scary money
Right.
don't make money.
Right. We're just like, what do we have to lose? We don't have anything to point. Like we're already on rock bottom. So we're gonna go after it. And we did. And I feel it was the best decision we ever made.
How long ago was that then? 2 years ago?
About
2018 was the year that we were on food stamps for most of the year. And then 2019, we were off of it. We made six figures, our first six figures that year.
yeah, and then this year is going better. So
Yeah.
This was just last year. Y'all was on them stamps and gave it up and gave your
No,
life to
2
Christ.
years ago. 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
You know I don't be doing math.
Child. I'm like,
Okay, I'm not good at math
that
either.
was last year. He said 2018.
We saw a tweet last night that said, I'm stuck thinking that the 90s were 10 years ago. I still believe.
80-20, but people from the 80s
Are
are
40.
40. Yeah. So
First of all,
Some are,
don't
some
come
are
for me.
37,
Don't
guys.
come for me.
Some are 37. Take it
First
easy.
of all, everybody simmer down.
People from the 80 are 40.
Yeah.
from the 80s.
yeah. So
I have a question. Oh, go ahead, Michael.
no,
go
you're
ahead.
right. I was gonna just say that I think that people would be so amazed when it comes to entrepreneurship, how much faster you go. First off, with coaching and mentorship, because we heavily invested in ourselves. Like we were
still heavily invested.
and we still heavily invest in ourselves. Like we spent money on everything. Like we may not have even been as broke as we were if we weren't buying courses and master and books and all kinds of stuff.
Right.
But
it was worth it.
But it was so worth it. And so I would just say that if somebody's out there and they're like, man, I'm trying to figure out where to make the jump. Like for me, I got to a point where I was like, I would rather try and go bankrupt and just start over at 25 than to live safe forever.
And then you're wondering what if.
What if? Like, what if for me is more scary than bankruptcy? And so I just decided to go what if, and it worked out.
Literally, I told Melissa the same thing. I can live with full-on failure. This I know.
Right.
I cannot live with regret and what if. That will drive me insane.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's yeah.
You got to go all in sometimes, man. In order to win, no limit hold'em Texas poker, or no limit Texas hold'em, no limit Texas hold'em poker. You got to. We moved here. When we moved here, we pushed all them chips in, and there was no guarantee. Man, what?
But y'all were big time then, though. Like
No, we were not Michael Pittman.
Nope.
We were little time. We were no time. There was no guarantee any of this could work. We could have fell flat on our faces. We had already rented our house out, so we couldn't go back there. We couldn't move with our parents. It was like, this better work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and what did that like teach you, like in this better work season? Because some people are at that point and they want to be safe, but like, what did it feel like? What you internally when you said to yourself, "This better work"?
What did it feel for you? Because I was on the like make it happen. You were more of the like, traditional job.
Yeah, so fear. There's a lot of fear. So I'm definitely the string in this dynamic.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for an emoji. I was literally going through emojis yesterday, like, where is a good string emoji so we could represent? For me, it was definitely very scary because, again, that financial security and having a place to stay and having a roof over my kids' heads and clothes on their back, all of those things are
things you grew up with.
Right. Those kind of amenities are definitely things that are really, really important to me. And it was important that regardless of how faith looks, that it's like a responsible faith move. And sometimes those things can seem very opposing, especially the more entrenched you become in, at least for us, the more entrenched you become in the dynamic of being a string and a kite, you start to stand very firm and like, but we need to consider this. Well, you don't believe in me. And it becomes that conversation instead of a conversation of like, let's make sure that the decision we're making is both, you're getting out of it what you need, but in addition, I'm getting out of it what I need. And those conversations are very hard to approach. So it was just very difficult for us until I was able to get a job. But that took like 6 months.
Man,
It took me like 6
the
months to get a
longest
job.
6 months ever.
Yeah,
Really?
once we first moved here. No, that was definitely like, girl, I expected you to get a job much faster. This is taking a lot longer.
Yeah.
Right. So Melissa, you're more of the practical one, and
Absolutely.
Kev is the visionary.
Absolutely.
Do you feel like you have a little bit more visionary now, or are you still like, I'm still practical?
I'm still practical. I think that I was actually talking to someone recently, and I feel like that practicality of me always grounds creativity in something. And I think in some ways it's a good thing. It helps me like follow process. So even just as an example, I'm starting to realize I created a list of like must do's on a weekly basis. And I was finding that I would get it all done, but maybe one night I'm up until 2 o'clock in the morning trying to get it all done. Or it's Thursday and I'm trying to get it all done at the end of the week. And so I was like, okay, you need a schedule. So I wrote out all of my must do's. I organized them into daily tasks. And I was telling Kev yesterday that what it helps me do is end my day, because as an entrepreneur, I'm actually going to do a post on this, but it's very hard to tell when you should end your day because you have a list of to-dos that are 5,000 things long. But
Right.
if you develop a plan of execution for those things, then you don't feel the need to get it all done on Tuesday. So you're up until 3 o'clock in the morning. So I broke them down into these are your weekly must do's, organize them into daily tasks. And when they're done, regardless of what's still on the list, you are done for the day. And it allows me to cook dinner. It allows me to watch TV. It allows me to still enjoy my life because I'm not concentrated on all the gazillion things to do. And so to me, that's my 9 to 5 kicking in. It's the organization piece. It's reminding myself that I have a job description with things I have to get done. And that's what I would do at work. On Tuesdays, you're going to check this. On Wednesdays, you're going to do this. On Thursdays, you're going to do this. And on Fridays, leave that free for just in case things didn't go the way you planned. And that's what I've done. And that's the, like, again, the 9 to 5 in me that has to ground this entrepreneurial, creative world in something that's very practical.
So
And on that note, hold on, we should take a break and hear from the very last pieces of sponsors for this episode right now. And we're back. Go ahead, ask your question, Michael.
So I have a question for you, Melissa. Like, for you,
Hey, we supposed to be interviewing y'all, but ask your question.
I'm sorry.
I'm just playing. Go ahead.
So, because you were talking about entrepreneurship and breaking things from goals into tasks into daily deals. So, how did you, for somebody who was so so employee minded and process oriented and 9 to 5 oriented, like what shifts had to happen internally with you to progress from always being the one doing things like an employee to now like delegating and trusting a team? And, like what did that look like based off of who you are as a person?
Hi, Michael. I never said I delegate. Hi, Michael. I never said I trusted a team of people.
I was like, Michael, you believe in her, man. That is cute. That is so.
I just see that you guys got people up there now filming you and shooting you, and Melissa's
so well.
she's on Instagram saying this person styled me, this person
No,
did this.
okay. So this is what happened with that. This is what happened with that in real life. So I wasn't going to hire a stylist, and anyone in the comments right now that's part of the book hub knows this. I was not going to hire a stylist. The reason why is because I've had very bad experiences with stylists. So I was like, I'm gonna just do it myself. Like I know what I like. Even my makeup, I was like, you can hire a makeup artist, but every time, sometimes it's hit or miss, or they leave, and you'd be like, let me add this and let me do
Right, it
this
really
because I like it like this instead.
Right.
So I was like, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna style myself and I'm gonna do my own makeup. And so I was meeting with the girl who was doing the set design, which low key, I was like, I don't even need a set designer. Like, this is so dumb. Because again, I'd be thinking I could do all the things. So I hired her and she was like, Melissa, you really should consider hiring a stylist. And I was like in real life, I'm really hesitant. These are the reasons why we just discussed. So I met with the stylist. I stalked her Instagram. I stalked her portfolio. We had like a 45-minute conversation. And at the end, I was like, she styled me to perfection. I just felt like she got me. That's a very rare.
Well, them other stylists, Melissa was like,
That's a very rare occurrence. Like in real life, I was like, you guys, should I do this? And all the girls in the book club was like, you should do it. You should do it. You should do it. You're going to find it's going to be more relaxing. You're not going to be stressed, whatever. So I did it. I love this girl. I'm going to continue to use her as often as possible. With that said, that does not happen often for me. There is someone that helps me edit the videos for the vlogs, but I end up re-editing what she sends me. She doesn't edit every single vlog.
She could give the editor notes, but she's like, I'll just take it from here.
I still do.
And
that.
also, you won't even have a chance with this one.
Even the other day for the Bold and the Beautiful, Joshua sends like a pre-cut, and I'm like, Joshua, you don't have to do that. You could just send it to me. I will edit it. It's really no big deal. Like I still feel the need to like touch things and be part of it is because I feel like I am still so new-ish to the world of entrepreneurship that I like part of it is just learning. I don't want to feel. I was actually just talking to Brennan about this yesterday. Brennan helps us do a lot of production stuff. And
but y'all ain't got no people though. Y'all ain't got no people. I know,
but we do, but we don't. I mean, we do have a team. You know,
we have them. You said trusting a team.
Yeah,
we just have them.
Yeah.
Trusting them is a whole
different thing. But I was telling Brennan, because he was like, Melissa, I just want you to be able to come in and think of yourself as talent. And I was like, well, first of all, I don't want to consider myself just talent. Like, I want you to teach me what you're doing because it educates me the next time around. So if someone's missing or someone's gone, I'm not just sitting. For example, we were sitting here earlier and I'm like, I need light here. Okay, well, now I know these lights can move and you can light me from underneath here. So if I'm ever somewhere and I'm like, hey, so listen, like I have this hat on, it's casting a shadow. You think maybe you can take that light and like underlight me? I now know a term.
Yeah. Wait, are you like Enneagram 5?
Girl, I'm gonna tell you because I wrote it down because I'll be forgetting. I want to get them on the show.
What she be talking about, but she don't be knowing what she be talking about.
I be saying the things, I just don't be knowing I be saying the things.
Yeah, light, down some light from underneath, but you be getting it like, I'm dark here. Do not make that. Okay, I just want to say something real quick.
I'm a 6'5".
Oh,
gotcha.
I don't know what that means anymore, though.
I'm a Taurus.
Like you're really security oriented and loyal, but you're also like really into the details. You like to study and investigate and all of that.
It's called the investigator.
6 is the
loyalist, and 5 is the investigator.
Yeah,
right.
so
yeah, that's me.
This is totally random, but this is one of the funniest comments I've ever seen. Our Patreon is watching this live, and I know this is completely off topic. Please don't be upset.
I'm not.
Alicia is watching this live on Patreon. She said, this Beyond Meat burger I'm eating right now owes me nothing. And I thought about it. When food is so good, you have to type it. Let me tell y'all what. This burger owes me nothing. I have been there. We've all been there, man. This is amazing. It owes me nothing. I want to say something to you guys real quick, or I want to ask something to you, or from you, of you. So you made the decision in your mind. We are going off the stance. We're going into the deep end. We're going to make that push to this part of our life. Did you guys get to a point where you were like, oh my God, this is actually working? And if so, was it a moment where you realized it, or you realized that it had happened in the past?
Okay, that's a great question. So we got off of food stamps in January.
It was December. It was like right before the new year.
Right before the new year.
Yeah.
Okay. But we did go, like there was like $70 left on the card, and it was just like,
spend it all.
Might as well. We might as well. We gonna be all God. Just let me get this one more full on ham.
Listen, that's what you have to do. You don't spend $69.95. You spend $70.05 just to make sure every dime is gone.
So we didn't renew, but I mean, who am I?
I'm not crazy. What am I, a monster?
And so that was in January, and that's kind of why I feel like we really, got off. But one of the things that we did was what Amanda will say, like our income doubled from January to February, then it doubled again from February to March, and then from in March, April, we made the most that we had ever had beyond March, and from there, it's just been like smooth sailing. But some people may be thinking to themselves, okay, but like, what did you actually do to double your income?
Yeah.
So what we did was we were full-time parents watching our child all of 2018 while Amanda was pregnant. So we were doing the full-time parenting thing, full-time entrepreneurship thing. We felt like we didn't have enough money to do childcare. So we're just going to do childcare ourselves and then try to
take turns.
And what we realized was actually costing us money. And so we decided to take some money that we didn't really feel like we had to buy ourselves time to hustle and work in January. And then that proved out in February and March. We got to April, to Kevin's question, we felt like, okay, we're at a point to where we're making this amount of money. I used to make this at the bank. Like, we're at a point to where it doesn't, like, it would be financially irresponsible for to go back to a 9. And that was like the first moment that felt like, wow, that feels good.
And can I tag on something?
Sure.
And so just to interject, because this is a very important detail. Whenever we started hiring childcare, we started with 1 day a week because that's what we could do. And that 1 day a week was not a day to work.
It was not.
That 1 day a week was our date day.
Oh,
and we said, we don't have much, but the little we do have, if we're going to go all out, we're going to invest in our marriage. And so
that's good stuff, Amanda.
Yeah. So we paid so that we could have childcare, so that we can go on. And us going on dates is what gave us the synergy to idea generate and have what it took and have even the mental capacity to make it the rest of the week. And so we started making more simply because we were on the same page. And we're business partners and we're having business meetings, right? Because it turns into a business meeting, a very romantic business meeting.
Yes, it does.
and then once we started making a little bit more, then we're like, okay, we're going to add on another day. Then we're going to add on another day until it was full time. And so, that was it. Our marriage was the first place we invested.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
I'm really glad you mentioned that because that's super. What you realize is that you don't have to maybe work as much. I mean, there's a term, work smarter, not harder, but you have to have the ability to think in order to be smart. So I'm trying to think about where I left off when you interjected. Trying to think. Don't worry, I'll make it all nice and clean for your editing people.
You were talking about you were using money you felt you didn't have. Okay.
I got it. So that's a great point, Amanda. I got to April and then we were making money. Things were going really, really good, but they were still kind of like up and down as entrepreneurship always is. And what shifted the dynamic was when we started landing corporate contracts. So we don't have a lot of
direct to consumer,
like B2C, business to consumer sales. Like we are, like our work now, we're a marketing agency for other companies that don't have marketing. So then it gave the ability of monthly revenue that was predictable and recurring.
Yes.
But at a large enough amount and at a great enough freedom, because they're paying the business, not us,
right?
To where now it feels like, whoa, like this feels like something that we could scale and sustain with the right team and the right people, because it's not just let me run this program or do this influencer campaign, or it's like these are kind of set SOPs, standard operating procedures that we can walk through on a day-to-day basis that give us what we want out of life and allow for us to expand and grow. So I feel like if I were talking to Michael back in 2018, I would say, love on the Instagram audience, love on the Facebook audience, like continue to provide value on social, but don't underestimate the value that your skill set would be able to provide to a company in the form, not as an employee, but in the form of a service that you provide to them.
Right. A business to a business. Yeah.
Business to business and government too, eventually.
So you've recently, we were talking earlier about when you did the Love Hour conference, you were finance, but you've pivoted since then. So that's what you're doing now in terms of marketing for both consumers and for like corporate businesses. Because listen, if y'all don't follow Michael on Instagram, first of all, you should, but also be prepared that if you're trying to go into the entrepreneurial space, there's like a couple people that I follow on Instagram, and Michael's definitely one of them, that you either are reading their page because you're ready to be read, or you're quickly scrolling because you're just not in a mental capacity, a mental space to like have your edges snatched
listen,
that day.
I don't need to.
I don't have the energy. I'll come back to this post when I'm like in a better space.
Right.
Bookmark it. So here are the verticals of our business.
Okay.
So we have one vertical of our business to where we do marketing and media for companies. So if a company is like one of our companies is not Home Depot, but they are like a subsidiary of Home Depot. They're a flooring company, and it's email campaign, social media, blog writing,
video creation, content for them.
Content creation, all of that. And we have another company that's a nonprofit where we do like SEO and Facebook ads eventually and different things like that. That's one vertical. Then for my online financial school curriculum, I actually licensed that out to colleges and universities. So there are many first generation college students, minority, low income college students that are in a particular government program called TRIO. And that government program mandates that that they provide support for students on campus, but it mandates that there is a financial literacy curriculum for those students. So they have to find a provider for that. So I have like financial literacy curriculum that I've licensed to University of Florida, Florida A&M, Santa Fe College, Eastern Florida State. I've been working in Florida, obviously, for those. So that's another vertical of the business that of like licensing, business to business, business to government, whatever. But I still take that same curriculum and I open it up to the, Love Hour people whenever we hop on here for a certain amount of time, and then it's hard to find. So that's the other vertical of our business. So it's two completely separate businesses under one company.
Got it. I'll add one thing because I think it'd be valuable for people to just take away. The things that we teach now and the things that we provide for businesses now are the things that we learned in the trenches. They're the things that we learned, like we learned how to become really great marketers when we were investing in ourselves in 2018. And it's paying off now because now we run marketing for companies and they pay us well for that, you know? And so it's like, it's the things that you learned then that are going to pay off in the future. And so like, don't discount any of it. It's all part of your story. It's all going to be used.
Amanda's over here adding titles and transitions and effects in Final Cut Pro. And it's like, wow, that a lot more money than when you were doing that on YouTube for YouTube.
Right.
So it's fun. It's a blast.
Anything else?
This was great.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. I wanted to end off on, this would be really great. What pieces of advice do you have to any couples out there that are maybe they're newly married, similar to your story, our story, and they feel like they are in the trenches trying to figure it out? Maybe either you probably didn't even get fired. You may have just been laid off, furloughed, whatever, because 2020 has dictated these are the type of things that people are experiencing more and more. What advice would you give them knowing your story and where you are today?
So what I would say is the first thing I would look for is the first thing I would do is just encourage them and let them know that we talked about going through the trenches. Y'all talked about going through the trenches. So many entrepreneurs that I know that are successful talk about going through the trenches. And it's simply just, I feel like paying your dues in a way. And that if you just stick with it
That's what
and
Chance said.
don't give up, like, and I
Yeah.
sounds so cliche. I almost didn't say it because it sounds so cliche, but it's like quitting, like if they're an entrepreneur, quitting doesn't make anything go faster and it doesn't make anything easier. So you need to just understand that you're not in the position that you're in because you're incompetent or that you're not good enough or anything like that. Some things just take time, even if you're doing the right things. Like Warren Buffett has a funny financial quote that says, you can't get 9 women pregnant at one time and get a baby in 1 month. Like some things just take time. So some things just take time and to be patient with yourself. That's what I would say. What would you say?
I would say have faith. Have faith
Yeah.
and have confidence that you're gonna see it through. If you're double-minded, it's not gonna work. You have to have that faith. Like God is on my side, and I commit everything to Him. He's gonna establish it. And if I seek Him first, then everything else. And I think that when you have that foundation, you can always say it doesn't matter if anything and everything was taken away from me, I would still lose nothing because I still have everything. And when you have that mentality of I have nothing to lose, it gives you greater capacity for faith. And it's not faith if you have the blueprint. It's not faith if you see everything in the future. And it's a substance of things, the evidence of things that are not seen. And so you just have to faith. You have to have the faith and the confidence that you will see it, and speak that over yourself and truly believe that. I know that. I had to go through just a lot of personal development to become the type of person to say, like, I am the type of person who will deserve whatever comes because I've worked. And I think sometimes we have this sheepish mentality of, oh, I don't really deserve anything, or I'm not, imposter syndrome. And you have to say, no, I've worked for this, and I have a God on my side, and I'm a child of God, and he's going to see this through. And I think that having that mentality, that confidence and that faith, I really believe that that's what you're going to need in order to get to the other side and to sustain you.
I will also say too, there's a phrase called be, do, have. So some people think, for instance, that if I just had $1 million, then I would have no other worries in the world. But there are people who make money in the NBA and NFL and in Hollywood, and they make millions of dollars and go broke. Not because they didn't have, but because they weren't who they needed to be. And so focus on becoming who you need to be in this season. Then when you know who you are, you'll know what to do. And then once you do the right things after becoming a person, not only will you have what you're looking for, but you'll also be able to sustain it
and enjoy
it. And because some things that look like blessings are actually just curses with a ticking time bomb. Like if you're not the type of person that you need to be, then develop into that. Have coaches, have mentors, have groups, have people around you that think big, that aren't limited by, the thinking that Christians shouldn't be able to make money or crazy things like that. Like your network will determine your net worth, and that is going to play a big part in who you become.
That was good.
It was great.
Anything else you would like to add? Please make sure that you give get your final thoughts, and then give people your Instagram. And if you're still on YouTube, you can give that information out as well.
Sure. So my final thoughts about everything that we said are just letting people know, if they want to be in the game of entrepreneurship, that you can do it. No, people have this idea that what they see, people see what other people are exuding on the outside, and they're comparing what they see to what they feel on the inside. And thus you're internal to other people's external, and you think that because they are exuding that external, they're not dealing with the same internal.
So
so you don't feel like you're fit to do what they're doing,
Right.
or fit to do whatever God's called you to do. And I just want to let you know that everybody, has times in which they feel insecure, unsure, and it doesn't affect, and if they don't allow that to affect the action they take moving forward and becoming they need to be, that's what makes them successful, not some internal feeling of security and competency. So I would just say that, and that I'm super grateful to be here. You can find me on Instagram at Michael J. Pittman. You can go to here. Let me give you your Love Hour people this as well, since you asked at the beginning. Go to the onlinefinancialschool.com.
Okay.
And then if you go and you I'll send me an email on when y'all decide to open the podcast up, and I'll open up the school for your audience for free for 30 days, like how I did, and I'll do that. But that's where you can find me on Instagram at Michael J. Pittman or at theonlinefinancialschool.com.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll just say it's been a joy to be here. You guys are a joy. You're a breath of fresh air, and it's just wonderful to see you guys. And yeah, it's wonderful. I absolutely love it. And you can find me on Instagram at Amanda A. Pittman, and you can find me on all socials there. And you can find my brand and ministry, Confident Woman Co., at Confident Woman Co. on Instagram as well.
Yep.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much for taking the time to be with us, man. It was great. You guys were a joy. I love you.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today. As Kevin said, you guys are definitely fantastic. I really enjoyed it. And I actually learned quite a bit about you guys as well. And so that was great as well. Thank you guys so much to our audience. Please make sure that you follow Michael at Michael J. Pittman, Amanda at Amanda A. Pittman on Instagram, and the Financial School.
The online
financial school will be available at the time of this episode. So please make sure that you check that out for any additional financial resources and entrepreneurship resources. Go to Michael's page. And for woman confident empowerment, you can follow Amanda personally, or also the Confident Woman Co. on Instagram. No dot, just woman confident. Confident Woman Co. Okay, that's all. Bye.
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 Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys. I have to go to the bathroom.
Don't cut though, because we're gonna film the ads. Or we could just do it on here. Okay. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. What a blast.
Yeah, this was a great time. I actually, like I said, I learned quite a bit about you guys. So that's always fun as well for me to understand a little bit more behind the screen on Instagram.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love y'all's energy. It's just very comfortable. Like when somebody has great energy, it's awesome to have a conversation with. Something everybody has. It's super valuable.
Boo.
Yes.
Yeah, y'all killed it. Y'all are in Los Angeles, right?
In LA.
Okay, cool. Y'all like it out there? Have things opened up at all, or?
No, not really. I mean, you can go to restaurants, but you can just do outside dining. But for the most part, he's had things pretty, I would say we're at a medium level. The schools are still closed. Although I heard recently that they're going to try to open them and do some hybrid schedule. But I mean, I like LA. Kevin's always talking about we have a really great network here. The only thing I don't like about it is that everything is so expensive that if you're not a legit Hollywood star, it feels like your money isn't reflective of what you should be experiencing. Yeah. And so that gets frustrating for me, especially. But I think, there's a lot of opportunities specifically for what we do that makes sense to stay here. Although I don't want to, I ain't gonna lie. These days, in the beginning, I was like, no, I really like it, LA. But these days I'd be like, girl, I'll leave tomorrow.
You're like, Atlanta, where you at?
Listen, I be trying to debate how I feel about Atlanta. Some days I'll be all for it, and then some days I'll be like, I don't know. Maybe I need to go to Texas, because them Texas homes be popping.
Dallas, Texas. Y'all need to check that out. And especially from even a tax standpoint, y'all if y'all would feel all y'all money over
Oh,
there
yeah.
in
Oh,
Texas.
yeah.
That's
You
what
would-
I'm saying. I see these people. One of the girls I follow on Instagram, she's having her house built from the ground up. And it's just something about a brick home that is
Right.
so grand and massive and like so suburban that I'm just here for it. And you're just
Yeah.
not going to get that experience in LA. You're just not going to get it. It just doesn't exist. It's just not a thing.
So I've never been to California. Are the homes not brick there? Like
No.
what style of home?
They're
What
more, they're the, what is that called? Stucco?
Like a
Oh, yeah,
modern.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You see,
they're
like,
more like the,
yeah.
yeah. And they
Yeah.
have a lot of, I mean, the older homes are very much ramblers. And the last house we were in, well, I guess 2 houses ago now, was a rambler. The newer homes are the 2-story homes and they look nice, but just on the outside, they just don't give you, I mean, them brick homes be like,
She's a brick.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just something about
These
them.
brick houses are just gorgeous.
Yeah.
They're
I like
just
white
beautiful.
brick. I just like it painted
Yes.
white with the black windows. Oh,
That's all I want. That's quite
all I
literally, that's all I want. That's all I want.
Yeah. So yeah, we definitely want to visit. We were talking about visiting California next year because we've never been.
Yeah.
Oh, you should definitely come when the world
Y'all live
opens
in
back
Atlanta,
up.
right?
We are actually we haven't made it public yet, but we
Hold on, you're
actually-
still on. You're still on. You're still on.
Okay.
Oh well, then
We're no longer.
no
Oh,
longer in Atlanta. So
Yes.
thank you for looking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know
we've
what you
been-
this is
want.
not gonna be on the episode, though, right?
No, 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 no.
Oh, you're talking about Patreon.
Yeah. But
Right.
but yeah, we're making moves and it's very exciting.
Yeah.
That's great.
So yeah, thank you
Well.
so much, Mr. Kev on stage for having the podcast as well. I know you went to the potty, so just wanted to let you know we were grateful.
Thank you, guys. It was great. I had a great time.
Awesome.
All right,
Awesome.
Ty.
All right, y'all have a great day.
Y'all
Okay.
do too. We'll see y'all soon.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So you want me to get these ads?
Mm-hmm. Man, I peed so hard.
Oh, my hand hurts so
I peed for
bad.
like a minute and a half.
Why did you time it? Who does
I was
that?
like, man, I'm still peeing. This is crazy. Woo! Felt good though. Some peas, man, they'd be like, man, this is great.
Okay. Let me find my hand. I need to go to the doctor. What am I looking for?
As
But what app does he send it on?
he emails it. Google Drive. Google Drive. Did you eat anything?
No. Oh, I think we have a whatchamacallit today too.
What?
A ESS drop or RSS drop. I don't see this. Doesn't he send them on Slack? That's what I was looking for.
He emails it too. I always see it on email.
See if it's in yours.
Ow.
Yeah, here it is.
Found it.
It's just easier for me to get it in Slack. Oh, my hand hurts so bad. And then we should. Can you ask Greg if we have an RSS drop? But I don't understand. I didn't understand.
I know you didn't.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, here we go.
Ready?
Yeah. Is he still shooting?
I think
Are
it's
we just
going
gonna do
this.
it on here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, today we want to tell you about Magic Spoon. Listen, Magic Spoon is the adult cereal.
Yes.
It is what your inner kid wants, but it satisfies the mental, nutritional things that you know you need as an adult. It's as if both of those worlds became one and had a baby. That baby would be Magic Spoon.
That's a great explanation of that cereal.
You liked it?
Yes, because it's healthy, but you also be like, this is delicioso.
Yeah, it has really great flavors from cocoa to fruity to frosted and blueberry. It tastes really, really great. And again, for the adult in you, it's keto friendly.
Yeah.
It's gluten free,
Yeah.
grain free,
Yeah.
soy free,
Yeah.
low carb,
Yeah.
and GMO.
And GMO. Magic Spoon, you have everything
I
we
mean,
need.
GMO free. You don't want the GMOs.
And GMO free.
It's GMO free.
Magic Spoon, you have everything we need.
It is a variety. Well, we have the variety pack, which is all of those which you love because it gives you the options to satisfy, again, the inner kid in you that you be like, girl, I want frosted today.
Yeah.
No, I want fruity.
I don't care if
No,
I'm
I
almost
want
40.
chocolate. No.
I want chocolate cereal.
No.
And I want it to be healthy. And Magic Spoon, you do that for me.
There's 0 sugar, 11 grams of protein, and only 3 net grams of carbs in each serving.
Yes.
It is quite literally magical, and that's why they're the Magic Spoon. Go to magicspoon.com/love to grab your variety pack and try it today. And be sure to use our promo code LOVE at checkout to get free shipping. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with 100% a happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked.
Yeah.
That's magicspoon.com/love.
Love.
And use code LOVE for free shipping.
Love.
Thanks so much, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring the podcast and satisfying the inner kid in me. You want to do this one?
You know, because COVID sucks balls, our family won't be together for holidays this year. And you know what?
That sucks.
It does suck. No swallow. But I found a way to bring us all together safely, a hand-painted compilation portrait from Paint Your Life. And it makes the perfect gift. Listen, I love pictures.
You do.
I love painting. I've got a whole art wall right behind me. And we have our Paint Your Life. I got one of me and Melissa. I got one of me and the boys. I got one of
The one with us and the girls is from Paint Your Life.
Yes. And it's always up in my office. It's up right now, and it's always going to have a place there. And because I like getting a professional hand-painted portrait created from any photo at a truly affordable price. You can send any picture of yourself, your children, your family, special place, or your cherished pet, a dog, a cat, a little rat. Or you can combine those photos into one painting. Choose from a team of world-class artists and work with them until every detail is perfect. You can order a custom-made hand-painting portrait in less than 5 minutes. Quick and easy process. Get a hand-painted portrait in about 3 weeks. A meaningful personal gift that can be cherished forever. Right now at paintyourlife.com, there's no risk. If you don't love your final painting, the money is refunded, guaranteed. And right now, as a limited time offer, get 20% off your painting. That's right, 20% off your painting with the code. 20% off and free shipping. To get this special offer, text the word hour to 64,000. That's hour to 64,000. Once again, text hour to 64,000. Paint your life. Celebrate the moments that matter most.
And now we want to tell you about Honey because listen, honey, I am doing all of the online shopping there is imaginable. No one's going to the stores. Stores are actually overrated.
The mall ain't even open over here.
The mall ain't even open over here, but that does not mean you can't get your shopping on. And this year, they are predicting that Black Friday online sales will be record breaking. And what that means, yes. And what that means is you need to also be thinking about the money that you can save while you're pulling out your credit card and shopping. And Honey can do that. They are today's sponsor. I use them for a lot, if not all of my home decor shopping that I do, whether that's through Target or or Macy's or West Elm. I've used them for West Elm and like CB2. You just download Honey as an extension on your computer. And when you go to the site, they'll apply any coupons that are available. They automatically check if it is the highest coupon. They say, girl, we saved you the most money. This is how much we're saving. It's like your best friend that like knows all the saving tips. Okay. It is very simple. If you have a computer, Honey should be on it. It's free and works with whatever browser you use. And you can get Honey for free today at joinhoney.com/love.
Love.
That's joinhoney.com/love.
Love.
We just decided to do it on here instead of.
I figured because I was like, you walked in, you were doing it. I was like, oh, these things are not on them.
Yeah, that's what I told. But Kev was like, just do it. So I said, that's fine, boo. Blue Chew.
Is your penis soft and you need it to be hard to throw it into some WAP? Well, Blue Chew's got the thing for you. You can't go into that WAP on soft. You need to go in hard. Rock hard. Más fuerte. Strong peen in a smooth vagine. And Blue Chew is going to make sure your penis is ready for action. Now you can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed. Listen up. BlueChew.com. That's blue, like the color blue.
Blue.
Brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. Listen, guys, you want to be honest? Sometimes my penis, he just ain't having the best day.
This is such a TMI.
He's like, hey, man, I'm a gummy worm, but I need to be a Chico stick. And I take a Blue Chew, and he's like, I am hard. I am hard. I want coochie. And then the coochie's like, oh, yes, this is the penis I recognize. Not a little baby soft peen, a strong masculine peen. And that's Blue Chew. Blue Chew is prescribed online by licensed physicians, so you don't have to go to the doctor's office or wait in line at a pharmacy, and it ships right to your door in a discreet package. They're made in the United States of America. Go USA. You know what USA is? Red, white, and Blue Chew. And since Blue Chew prepares and ships direct, they're cheaper than a pharmacy. No awkwardness, and you don't have to leave the house. Right now, we got a special deal for our listeners. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment free.
Free.
When you use our promo code LOVE.
Love.
Just pay $5 for shipping. Again, that's BLUE Chew.com. Promo code LOVE.
Love.
To try it for free. Blue Chew is the better, cheaper choice, and we thank them for sponsoring the podcast and sponsoring our erections. And remember, when you support our sponsors, you support our show and you support our penises. So please be sure to use the promo code LOVE.
Love.
At BlueChew.com. Get the cum you deserve.
Thank
Come
you,
all
Blue.
over her
Thank
butt
you,
and
Blue Chew,
back.
for being our longest standing podcast sponsor
Suck a pee.
and allowing us.
Josh is
calling. What is?
Hello, Josh.
HR?
If you didn't hear, Josh called and said hello, HR. It's quite hysterical.
Oh,
All right, let's get back to the show.
I still haven't got the iOS update.
No, I think we have an RSS.
Mine doesn't come in like that.
Have you checked for it?
No.
This must
Sometimes
drop
it
on.
pops up.
Usually it tells me, right?
Well, sometimes if you just go into the update,
Mm.
it might be-
Oh, to search for it.
You want to do it now? It must drop next week, but if we do it now, we can just
Do it now.
schedule it. All right. So this one, suggested talking points. We don't have to read this exactly. 4 of the original moms from the hit TV show Dance Moms reunite for a brand new podcast because mom said so. Because mom said, let me pull it up on here, Chuck, because the way this font, I mean, I got 2020, but sometimes I'll be like, do I need to go to the doctor?
Killing it.
What he doing?
He's the head of comedy content at Quayle TV.
What's Quayle?
It's a black-owned streaming service.
Movie?
Quayle.
Don't rush the read.
That's what they said?
Mm-hmm. No, I think it was
No.
canceled. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Don't rush the read. Talking points are a
For the
guide.
original Monster, the hit show that's sponsored right in the Battery Podcast because the Bible said so.
Joshua, what you eating? Smell gooder than a
It do
mud.
smell good.
It smell gooder than a mud.
Let's me and you forget
You want to go?
because the boys don't know and they don't deserve good food.
But I do need to feed them. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Hello, it's Melissa from the Love Hour podcast.
And Kev on stage is a real nigga.
I don't know if that'll work. That might not be fan friendly.
Are these mics on still?
No.
Oh,
Yes,
we
they are. Yes, they are.
okay.
They're going through there.
Okay.
Okay.
This is just audio. It doesn't have to be
Okay. All right. I just want to be dumb.
Wait, this is audio only. Is this RSS?
Yeah.
it's
yeah.
RSS.
Then let me record it.
Okay.
And rolling. How do you want to do it? You want to?
Where did you get a feel for everything you're supposed to get a feel for?
I didn't even look at it. It's just
Well, that's why you can't just read it.
You're talking about hard pains and soft and beauty.
Lifetime is this show, right? Because
I think it's a what you call it. Oh yeah, I think they're from Dance Moms. I don't know if that's Lifetime.
I feel like I see that commercial when we're watching Married at First Sight. Let me check.
Oh, my hand hurts so bad. I need to be interviewing this producer.
What time?
He just asked me if I'm available.
Yeah, it's on Lifetime.
Are you ready?
All right.
Hello, everybody. I am Melissa from the Love Hour podcast.
And I'm Kev on stage.
And as always, we're here to hip you to game on the newest podcast there are. And that is called. I started so good and then I felt less confident the more you were looking at me. Why are you looking at me like that? You didn't like the transition?
I got thrown off and hit you the game. I was like, what's she going with that? And then it started fading out. And it
You
faded
start
back.
once you said hip you the game, you were just like your confidence was like, I don't know anymore, guys. And then you said it's to the new podcasts that are there. Are there people liking the podcast? I like
I didn't know.
Then you were just like, never mind. These always give us so much trouble.
Okay,
You
ready?
said hip you the game, girl. All right,
People
you
don't
jive.
say hip you.
Hey, you jive turkeys. Listen, man. You know what's groovy? Dance moms.
It's just
Okay.
okay. Hello, everybody. It's Melissa from the Love Hour podcast.
Kev on stage from the Love Hour podcast.
And we are here to tell you about a brand new podcast called Because Mom Said So.
Now, if you guys know, we watch Married at First Sight on Lifetime.
We do.
All the time. And another show on Lifetime that's amazing, is super energetic and fun, is Dance Moms. And now these moms have come out of that show into their own Audio Boom original podcast, hosted by Melissa Gisoni, Holly Fraser Kelly, Kelly Highland, and Jill Vertez.
You're going to follow these women as they are raising their kids in the public eye. They're going to be talking about quarantine chronicles. They're going to be talking about being dance moms, being a mom, being and doing all of the things, all while giving you the real deal tea on their podcast Because Mom Said So.
And you know, these shows are all about the personalities
They
in the
are.
show. You're watching because these people have great personalities, and you're going to want to hear these moms talk about everything. They're going to be talking about the hottest topics, the latest trends, lifestyle, and beauty that relates to a diverse range of women. Meanwhile, offering advice to fans all across the world.
Because Mom Said So is out right now with new episodes every single Thursday. And please continue to listen because we're going to give you a sneak peek of Because Mom Said So.
Right now, you guys are going to hear a clip from Melissa, Holly, Kelly, and Jill. They've been navigating the trickiness of quarantine, the world.
I was done after I said that because they
Well, you
don't
missed
want
this part.
you don't have to read it verbatim.
But it says just for our listeners. We're giving you a listen.
Okay, fine. I
We
thought
didn't-
I just said that.
No, you said it's out right now. You didn't say we're going to listen.
Okay,
Or you
fine,
did.
go.
Did you say it right? Did you?
I don't think we have to read it verbatim. That's the thing.
Okay, then let's
Don't
fix it.
read verbatim.
I know that, girl, but you didn't say for our listeners only. a sneak peek.
But if it says don't read verbatim, why do I have to say that? I did say sneak peek.
Okay, go. Take it again. Just from that part.
From what part? I was done.
So how can we fix this? You want me to go and just go to the end?
No, what I'm saying is you could say be sure to listen and
Okay.
subscribe.
You guys be sure to listen to subscribe it to it.
Now I don't know if this is going to make sense.
It will make sense if you just tape that part where you end, listen to the sneak peek, and then I'll go be sure.
Okay.
Be sure to listen and subscribe to Because Mom Said So on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Why?
Because Mom said so. That's either going to be really good or a hot mess. Oh my God. All right. Y'all are doing y'all thing?
Yeah.
Let me look at this Viral Nation and then I got a call.
What time is your call?
Right now.
This is how we do it. Shala la 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 la. Shala la la ho ho.
Still live?
Yeah.
You can end it though.
Okay, guys, we gonna leaving now. Bye bye. We love you. Have a great day.
This hurts in here.
You gotta see a physician.